Okay guys, I'm here today with the MMA legend Rory MacDonald. Huge honor for me and Jimmy. And guys, this week Rory's shooting an entire instructional all about mastering the jab. And today he's gonna demonstrate us here some of his favorite moves. So I'm super excited about that, Rory, and watching you on Bellator and UFC. And so cool to have you here. Yeah. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Okay, so we'll get into some basics of the jab. So if we get here our opponent, he's in the same stance as me, so we're both right-handed. The jab will change if our opponent is the opposite stance as us. If you can see here, we're now in like a mirrored stance, as if we're looking in a mirror, my front hand and his front hand. Okay, so this is going to change the angles on a lot of our setups. Okay, we have to take different angles to be able to be successful with getting our jab. Different techniques. So an example of this, if we're fighting a southpaw or an opposite stance, if I'm a southpaw and he's a righty, okay, our jabs are touching each other, okay? It's gonna be hard to get inside of this guard because that front hand, just the way the angles are when we're in our fight position, it's gonna be hard to get through that. So things we can do is draw his hand away, is just with feints and pawing action. So we can take from our traditional boxing stance here, we can extend our hand out like this and we could start pawing at his glove, or we could start doing kind of slapping jabs like this with the side of our hands to get it out of the way. And what we could do is jab over top of it. Okay, so this is kind of a range finding technique. So we're here, bang, so we just slap it out of the way and jab. Well, how we would use that is as we step in with our jab, now we have an angle. So we could start generating different combinations depending if you're in MMA or kickboxing, you know, that'll change. So if you're a boxer, you know, you want to start looking at combinations here where he's open. If you're a wrestler, you have different entries here. So we can start looking in inside and outside singles, things like that. If you're a kickboxer and you have this angle, you have your kicks and your knees, your elbows, different attacks. So it's really going to change. But the jab it's such a fundamental tool to use in any fighting situation. If we look at same stance, so you start going into your right hand position. Generally, now if you look at the camera here, I don't know if we can get this, but there's a much bigger opening between his guard, okay? So when we're standing in this stance, I have a much better chance of coming through his guard, but so does he. So we gotta make sure that we have a good guard, good high guard, and we gotta understand the distance between each other. So if he's a longer opponent, we're gonna have to judge that distance. If we're the longer one, we want to keep him at the end of our range and things like that. So then we can look into the speed application and how to loosen our shoulder and use this as a rope. It's like a ball, and this is the ball on a chain, and we're slinging our jab out like this, okay? We want to use it as fast as possible, and we're going to generate a lot of our power directly from the floor by pressing off this back foot and stepping in with a penetration shot, a penetration step, and then we're using our shoulder, cocking it back like this and flinging it forward, loosening this all up until we tension it right at the end. Something we want to do at the end of our punch is almost like curve our knuckles in like this and turn them in, and we're going to aim our two knuckles, generally this middle bigger knuckle, into our opponent, and we want to sink that in like this, okay? You're going to develop a lot more power that way, and the whole speed application from this being like a rope, we're just tensioning it right at the end. It's going to also give us efficiency of movement. If we're stiff and locked up like this, it's going to be a lot of strain on our cardio system. Whereas if we're loose and we're bouncing around, I could do this all day. My muscles aren't going to get tired. My lungs aren't going to get tired. So we could you know, be more efficient by just relaxing this whole muscle here.
Yeah, no, that's super interesting. So basically, like, you use the jab as a way to open up doors, kind of thing.
Yeah,
And,
we could hurt people with the jab too. We were just going over in one of the sections on how to apply power at the end of our punch and hurt our opponent with just a sticking motion. Okay, so if we're working our opponent backwards, he's actively moving back. We can break that guard with a powerful jab by charging our shoulder, stepping in hard, moving our head off the center line, and crushing him either to the body or to the bridge of his nose, his chin, and we can apply knockout power with the jab.
Yeah. No, I love this because, as you said, it's such like a fundamental move for, I think, for boxing, but even more for MMA, because there's so many things that you can do after the jab on MMA, and I think you just demonstrated a lot of examples here. Yeah, so guys, Rory shot this entire instructional all about how to master the jab, which is one of the most important moves for MMA, and it's going to be at BJJ Fanatics and Dynamic Striking very soon, so make sure to check it out and learn straight from this legend. Thank you, Rory. Appreciate it. Please help me out to grow my YouTube channel. Just click subscribe, and to watch more videos, just click under see more videos. I hope you enjoyed.
BJJFanatics.com. Use the promo code YouTubeFaria to get 10% off any instructional video. Improve your jiu-jitsu faster.